Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings, everyone. Let me make sure I am going live on IG. All right, awesome. Now come on back here. All right, everybody. Assalamu alaikum again, peace and blessings, and welcome to another story time brought to you by me, Miss Sasha. And I hope that you all are doing absolutely great, phenomenal, feeling good, feeling great. It may be morning time for you, afternoon, whatever time of day it is. I hope that you are absolutely doing well, feeling well, even if you are under the weather, even if you are going through some whatever issues that you are going through. Always remember, as our ancestors have told us, this too shall pass. All right. Let go and let God. All right. So keep your focus, keep your eyes on the prize. Like my dad would tell us, don't get too high off the highs and don't get too low off the lows. All right. So try to take a middle course, and that will help you through the times that it's a struggle for you. So with that being said, I just want to say again, happy Black History Month. And of course, we already know that Black history is every day, right? Black history is every day. But I just love to honor Black History Month because our dear brother, ancestor, someone who was creating a legacy, Dr. Carter G. Woodson. All right. And the G stands for Godwin. All right. And he was the one who created Black History Month. He was the one who said, we are going to dedicate this month, this particular time, to talk about the achievements, the accomplishments, the different things that Black people have done. And the educators at that time that he had put on a display or to talk about Black history, these educators, these Black educators, they were educating our Black children, all right, about the accomplishments, achievements of Black people, inventors, educators, scientists. And so he said, since they're learning about this throughout the year, he wanted to dedicate 1 month to have them talk about what they were teaching our babies throughout the year. So that's the whole premise behind Black History Month, not so that we can just relegate it to the shortest month of the year. And for those of you who don't know, he chose February because of Frederick Douglass's birthday. And he also did it for Abraham Lincoln's birthday, but not in a way where he was just revering Abraham Lincoln, because again, Dr. Carter G. Woodson, he was an educated man, and he knew that Abraham Lincoln wasn't for Black people. All right. Just in case y'all didn't get the memo, he was not. All right. It was, he definitely had self-serving purposes for emancipating our enslaved ancestors. So with that being said, just want to give you all that little tidbit, give you all that little education on the Black History Month. And now I want to get started with the book. And so the book that I decided to read to you all this evening, my time. Let me do something real quick. I got to check my lighting really quickly. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh, since I got up, you know what I'm saying? I got up for a reason, right? Oh, y'all see it. Okay. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put my banner. I'm tripping. Let me put my banner in here. Okay. So, but yeah, y'all see. Let me get in here. Get in this whole camera. Okay. Ikra. All right. Ikra is the Arabic word for read. All right. So this is the new design on the Reading is Freedom store. So you all can check it out, readingisfreedom.store. And I'm a little thirsty. Let me drink a little. Oh, oh, hold up. Nah. Mm. Oh yes, this. Oh, 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 yes. Beautiful, right? Okay. Got the beautiful Arabic calligraphy on there, which again translates to read. The Arabic word for read is ikra. Okay. And I'll tell you all briefly why I chose that is because in Islam, we believe that the first verse of the Holy Quran, which is the holy book that Muslims read, just like Christians read the Bible and Jewish people read the Torah. Uh, Muslims, we read the Quran, and we believe in all those other revelations, by the way, as Muslims. And we believe that the first ayah or the first verse that was revealed to our beloved Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, that ayah that was revealed was Ikra. Okay, Ikra, and that translates to read. Read in the name of thy Lord who created. And so that right there speaks volumes because of the fact that you think about that is the foundation of how we get knowledge, right? We have to be able to know how to read. And we have to be able to not only know how to read, but of course, understand what it is that we're reading. Because how are we going to learn anything if we do not know how to read? And this is one of the main reasons why I decided to bring back the read alouds and the reason why we have ABC Read, which is the nonprofit organization that I started 10 years ago. Because of the fact in our Black and underserved communities, there is a high level of illiteracy. And let me say this, there's a high level of illiteracy. So people knowing how to read, but choosing not to read. And this is something that's across the board, okay? And so reading is something that's an extreme essential thing. And it's something that a lot of times, especially now in the technological age that we're in, folks are opting not to read physical books. A lot of times people want to just, get some quick information from Google and think they're going to be called a learned person or a scholar. And that's not going to happen. In order for us to learn anything, we have to actually sit with the text. Okay, we have to be able to study the text. So that means we have to read the text. All right, so that's why, again, I am bringing back the read aloud. All right, so let me go on. I usually come on here. I try to get right on and do the read aloud, but it's okay. The information that I've been given is definitely important and it's pertinent and it's needed. So you can just fast forward to the read aloud if that part was just like, oh, will she get on with the book? That's all right. All of it is needed. And those of you who are watching the replay, I thank you all for being able to watch the replay. Make sure that you share these videos as well. Very, very important. All right, so here we go. Carter reads the newspaper, you guys. Written by Deborah Hopkinson, illustrated by Don Tate. I love Don Tate's illustrations. I mean, just so phenomenal. You know a Don Tate illustration. He has these illustrations that are just, to me, and when I look at them, they're just, they're so warm. They're so definitely realistic. It's like very detailed. I mean, like how those phenomenal artists do, right? So let's dig into Carter reads the newspaper, okay? And here, I love this part. Oh my goodness, y'all. Dr. Greg Carr was one of the ones, too, who recommended getting this book as well. If you don't know who Dr. Greg Carr is, y'all need to Google him, okay? I mean, that man is like a walking library, all right? For real, for real. So here we go. Here we go. Each February, we celebrate Black History Month. It's a time to honor heroes like Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, and Martin Luther King Jr. But there's one hero we sometimes forget. Carter G. Woodson didn't help people escape from slavery, start a bus strike, or lead a movement of millions. Yet without him, we might not have Black History Month. And this is his story. Carter was born on a small farm in Virginia in 1875, 10 years after the end of the Civil War. Carter's parents, James Henry and Anne Eliza, were born into slavery, and Carter grew up hearing about their lives. The stories they told weren't part of any history book, but Carter kept them in his heart. James Henry had run away from his master to join the Union Army and fight for freedom. Times were hard, though. After the war, James Henry worked on the railroad, saving enough to buy a few acres of worn-out land. Most years, the crops brought in $100 or less. Anne Eliza was unbelievably brave. When she was a girl, her master decided to sell her mother. Anne Eliza asked him to sell her instead. That way her mother wouldn't have to leave her other 5 children. But no one offered enough money for Anne Eliza, so her master sold her mother and 2 little brothers instead. Anne Eliza didn't see them again until after the Civil War. She never forgot the horror of standing on the auction block. Carter's parents struggled to feed and clothe 7 children, especially in winter and early spring. Food was scarce. Carter, the youngest, once said, "We would leave the table hungry to go to the woods and pluck the persimmons." Many times he had to jump into bed early on Saturday nights so his mother could wash his only pants and shirt for church the next day. Carter could only attend school 4 months each year. The rest of the time, he was needed to work on the farm. Learning didn't happen just at school. James Henry taught his children to stand up for themselves and take pride in who they were. He gave Carter the courage to look anyone in the eye and declare, "I am your equal." And though Carter's father couldn't read or write, he believed in being an informed citizen. So he asked Carter to read the newspaper to him. But newspapers weren't easy to come by. Sometimes Carter read from old ones that had been used to wrap up food or packages. Reading the newspaper gave Carter his first glimpse of the wider world. Carter longed to go to high school, but his family needed him to earn money. When he was 15, he hired himself out to nearby farms, working long hours under the hot sun. He also drove a garbage wagon. High school would have to wait. Carter's older brother, Robert, found good paying work in the coal mines of West Virginia. Carter decided to join him there. Mining was grueling work for a boy, not yet 17. It was dangerous. Once a piece of slate came crashing down on Carter's head. He never forgot his time in the mines. Years later, Carter said, "I am a coal miner and I can take anything." In this harsh place, Carter met a man named Oliver Jones. You'd have to look hard to find Oliver's name in a history book. But in that small mining camp in Fayette County, West Virginia, Oliver did something important. He changed one life, and that life changed many. Like Carter's father, Oliver was a Civil War veteran who believed in education. As a soldier who had been at the Battle of Appomattox on the final day of the Civil War, Oliver had fought for freedom and equality. He was still willing to do his part to further the cause, said Carter. Each evening after working in the mines, Oliver threw open the doors of his little house to the other miners. He made his home a reading room, filling it with books by African American writers and with newspapers from all over the country. He sold ice cream and fruits, all at prices the men could afford. At first, Carter just went for the food, but that changed. Carter said, when Oliver Jones learned that I could read, he soon engaged me to inform him and his friends as to what was in the daily newspapers. Carter was happy to oblige. He liked reading the newspaper. Besides, he said later, I always enjoyed nice things to eat. Carter admired Oliver. He was a well-educated man, but he could neither read nor write, said Carter. He learned through others. Carter began to learn in the same way, too. Carter had longed for school. Life at Oliver's tea room turned out to be school of a different kind. Wherever Oliver and the other miners had questions about something Carter read in the newspaper, it was Carter's job to research the answers. If a Civil War veteran was in the news, Oliver wanted to know all about the man. I had to look him up in the books, inform my friends as to what battles he had fought, said Carter. If there was a question about economics, politics, or a new law, it was up to Carter to find out all about it in the newspaper and explain it to his friends. Carter was inspired by Oliver and this circle of men committed to freedom, equality, and knowledge. Men whose own life stories would never be in history books. And so the seeds of Carter's own life work began to grow. My interest in penetrating the past of my people was deepened. Carter worked in the mines for 3 years. When he was 20, he moved home to Virginia to start high school. He finished in just 2 years. Carter went on to college and became a teacher. He continued to study and work, earning a master's degree when he was 33. Then, when Carter was 37, he earned a PhD in history from Harvard University, the second African American to do so. W.E.B. Du Bois was the first. Carter was the first and only Black American whose parents had been slaves to receive a doctorate in history. At Harvard, so the story goes, one of Carter's professors said that Black people had no history. Carter remembered his father's pride, his mother's courage, and Oliver's determination to learn. He remembered reading the newspaper. Carter spoke up. No people lacked a history, he said. The professor challenged Carter to prove him wrong. For the rest of his life, Carter did just that. In 1926, he established Negro History Week. Later, it became Black History Month. Carter chose the second week of February to mark the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. Today, our entire nation celebrates Black History Month. And we honor Dr. Carter G. Woodson as the father of Black history. But in 1926, Carter was alone with his new idea. He had to blaze a trail. He had to spread the word at a time when there were no computers or internet or televisions. So Carter sent pamphlets about Negro History Week out to schools, colleges, churches, and women's clubs. And of course, he sent notices to newspapers. The boy who began by reading the newspaper to others transformed the way people thought about history. He fought for a history based on truth, a history that includes all people. Carter G. Woodson didn't just study history, he changed it, and we can too. All right, you guys, the end. And then one thing that I like about this book as well is it gives you, of course, it has the bibliography page, which is great. And so this is a great learning tool for your young ones who are reading books and they have to do reports. They should know about the bibliography page. So this is the page in which it gives the information on where the author got their information from. All right, so it lists the different books and to where they got the information from. Also, this book has a timeline, which is great as well. All right, I'll show you guys real quick. So it has Carter Godson Woodson's life and accomplishments. So it starts off, of course, from when he was born, and then, you know, just the major points about his life in terms of, you know, him being able to complete high school in 2 years, him receiving those particular degrees and everything of that nature. So, which is great as well. And I love also too, the pictures of the Black people in the book. It actually has their names of the people who are pictured, who are drawn in the book. And again, by the phenomenal Don Tate, illustrator, all right? So this book right here, I like this book because it's an entry point. So this is a gateway for you to talk about Black History Month, Dr. Carter G. Woodson. You know, again, I love how they talk about where his roots in education began. And I love the fact how it talks about his roots began at home. And that to me speaks volumes. And that's the key to our children's success. And I implore my Black families in particular, please stop depending upon these schools to educate your children. You literally have the tools to be able to bring out the genius in your children. Just a really quick story. I've been seeing these videos, and some of you might be aware of them as well on IG, where this little toddler is doing math problems, y'all. Not, you know, getting little blocks, you know, 2 blocks plus 3. I'm talking about multiplication, addition, vertically. Right, and he's writing the numbers and he's saying them. Little dude is 2, Black little boy. And so when I love that video because his parents, they understand the assignment. They know that they are his first educator. They didn't say, oh, he's too young. He's too young to learn that. You know, he barely can form words and all of that. No, they said, no, we have a genius in our house. We gave birth to a genius and we're going to treat him as such. And so that's a reminder for you all. Make sure that you look at your children like they are geniuses, like they are gifts from God. And they have gifts, they have talents, and it's our job as parents to help bring the gifts, the talents out of them. All right. So I hope you all enjoyed that story and the information. And again, thank you all for you who are watching the replay as well. Please make sure that you share the video. And my people on YouTube, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Put comments in the comments section as well. And I'm about to sign off. My name is Miss Sasha, again, founder and executive director of ABC Read, and the creator of Reading is Freedom. All right, you all take care and make it a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day.